At XJW.org, there is an article titled, "Do Messianic Prophecies Prove that Jesus Was the Messiah?" It shows a rather long list of alleged prophecies Jesus supposedly fulfilled. But do the so-called prophecies in this list actually qualify as real prophecy? Let's take a closer look. To be a real prophecy, a prediction has to meet 6 criteria. First, it has to be predicted before the event. You can't say, "I knew this would happen," afterwards. That is not a real prophecy. Second, it has to be meant to be a prediction. In 1970, I thought it would be cool if roller skates were like hockey skates. In 1980, rollerblades hit the market. My comment, though, wasn't a prediction. It was just a coincidence. Thirdly, it has to be a non-mundane claim. Non-mundane means it's not something common. Saying, "I will find a purple flower in a field of yellow ones," is a good example. Fourthly, it can be proven by a single, clear, obvious event. This means the prediction can only come true in one specific way that is easy to check. I might say, "I'll see a shooting star at 9 p.m. December 2nd. It will be obvious if it's proven or not. Fifthly, a real prophecy is not open to interpretation. The prediction should be very clear. Saying, "I'm going to find something tomorrow," can be fulfilled by finding anything. But saying, "I'm going to find a rare coin in the park," is not open for interpretation. You're either going to find a rare coin in the park or you're not. Lastly, a real prophecy is not something a person can make happen. It's not a prediction to say, "I'll eat pizza for dinner." You can make that happen just by ordering a pizza. Saying, "I'll find a 4-leaf clover at the beach," is not something that you can make happen. When we look at the Watchtower's list of so-called prophecies, we find none of them fulfill all 6 of the things I listed. So none of these are actually real Messianic prophecies, and I'll explain why later in the video. Don't let me forget. But the Bible does contain 7 Messianic prophecies. First off, 6 of the Messianic prophecies are not about who the Messiah is. They are about how we will know when the Messiah has come. The only prophecy about the person is that they will be a descendant of King David. Now, Watchtower says no one can prove their lineage back to David because the genealogy scrolls were destroyed at the temple in 70. That doesn't matter. The Messiah will fulfill the other 6 signs of the true Messianic kingdom, as stated by the prophets in the Hebrew Bible. The person who does this will be a descendant of David, whether they claim to be or not. So let's see if Jesus actually fulfilled the real Messianic prophecies. In Isaiah 11:9, the prophecy says the Messiah would make sure everyone on earth knows about God. Now, Jesus talked about God a lot, but not everyone in the world knows about God because of him. In fact, millions either don't know about or don't believe in God. So Jesus did not fulfill this prophecy. In Isaiah chapter 2, verse 4, the prophecy says the Messiah would bring world peace. While Jesus talked about peace, there were still wars. So he didn't bring world peace. In Isaiah 11:12, the prophecy says the Messiah would bring all the Jewish people back together. The Jewish people are still spread out all across the globe. So Jesus failed at this one too. In Ezekiel 37 verses 27 and 28, the prophecy says the Messiah would build an eternal temple. But Jesus never built such a temple, so he didn't make that happen. In Isaiah chapter 2 verse 2, the prophecy says all nations would come together and worship one God. Right now, there are 4 major religions in the world, and each one has hundreds or even thousands of different sects in them. And there is a growing atheist population in the world. This is clearly another prophecy that Jesus did not fulfill. Finally, in Isaiah 11:4, the prophecy says the Messiah would destroy evil. Yet, evil is still around. Jesus didn't get rid of it. Earlier in the video, I said none of the Watchtower prophecies are actually real Messianic prophecies. That's because the New Testament uses what is called, in literary terms, retroactive prophecy fulfillment. The writers of the Gospels and the rest of the New Testament wanted to establish a new religion. Since the Hebrew Bible was the accepted holy book of the time, they had to try to connect their book with the Hebrew Bible. So the writers cherry-picked verses from the Old Testament and claimed that they were prophecy when they really weren't. Then they claimed that Jesus fulfilled those prophecies. So the religion of Jehovah's Witnesses has its origin based on an apostate book that was written solely to create a new religion. If the Messiah ever does actually appear, his presence will be undeniable. The most obvious signs will be world peace, no more evil, and all of humanity worshiping one God. Any Messiah that does not achieve these things is not the true Messiah. Or at least that's what the Bible says. You may disagree. I look forward to your well thought out comments.